Well, hello everyone. I'm out on a 3-day backpacking trip, and as you can see, there's a bit of snow on the ground, which should make things a little bit interesting. I just got to the other side of the Highwood River, and I had to cross with sandals because last time I did this trip, I crossed with just my boots, and so I was wet for a 6-kilometer hike. So I thought I'd be a little smarter this time and pack some sandals, but man, was that cold. You get to the other side and your feet are just bright red and burning. So yeah, I just crossed the river, and I got about 6 kilometers ahead of me, and I just rested underneath this tree and changed my footwear into some nice dry socks and toasty warm boots. So yeah, I'm just gonna start heading up, and my buddy Callum just dropped me off, and he's headed back now, and then I'll see him and later on Saturday there. So but yeah, I'm just gonna get geared up and start the trip. Just wanted to show you a bit of the scenery here. It's actually quite breathtaking. Just on the edge of this cliff here. I'll show you. Crystal clear water, and the sun's out, which is super nice. That wind has died down. That was here before, and it's really quiet. Just that sound of those waterfalls coming around here, so it's just absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, just amazing. The views up here are just incredible. This is the trail I've been following, and it's an absolute highway with wildlife. There's deer, rabbit, I think there's some bobcat. They're a little bit distorted with the warm weather, so a little bit harder to make out in the snow, but these deer prints, like, they're fresh, man. Like, fresh. I must have missed them by a couple hours, if that. So and the best part about it is not one human footprint, which is fantastic. I got this place to myself. So it is still hunting season out here, so I wouldn't be surprised if I ran into a hunter or two, but so far there's no signs of them. Actually, this will be a great spot for them to get something for sure. So I've been going for about an hour, and I've covered about 2.1 kilometers, so I'm not making any world records, but the snow is slowing me down a little bit. Not too bad. Just gotta watch where you're stepping, and as you can see, I'm on a bit of a cliff, so I am being a little more careful. There is absolutely no rush. I've got 6 hours till sundown, so I am making good time. There's no reason to be rushing or taking risks you don't need to. So yeah, so as you can see, the trail's closing in quite a bit, and I'll check in with you guys later. We're on about 3.9 kilometers, and I probably have one more to go if I remember right. So as I said, the forest really closed in back there, so it's quite a bit more secluded and tight, so it's easier to find the trail as opposed to an open meadow covered in snow. So but yeah, no, I just passed back there a creek where I stayed last time for a night, and yeah, it was kind of neat to go back to where you stayed before, and kind of the memories come flooding back. So and I stayed another night up ahead of me. So as I remember, this trail gets very narrow and windy, and I'll just give you an idea of what I'm walking through here. So I don't know if you can pick out the trail, but I'm kind of remembering a little bit where I went. So it's no, it's beautiful. The further you go back, the deeper the snow is, but it's not too bad. It's probably 4 to 6 inches in places. So, but it's melting pretty quick. So yeah, hear these snow drops out of the trees, and you think something's there. So, but yeah, it's getting a little bit tired. Didn't have breakfast this morning, and it's 1:15. So I usually do that on my trips. I'm so excited to go, I forget to eat. Well, it turns out I was way off. I'm only about 4.5 kilometers in, so I was a little closer than I thought. But I'll just give you a quick view of home. I haven't even been in here yet. So from last time, this tree fell down, and there is the creek right there, and there's my makeshift spit that I made. There's my ridgepole there. The firewood that I had cut down previously, as you can see, is still there, and got a great little jaunt down to the creek. So I'm going to get set up and break down here, and get my shelter made up, and get some lunch in me for sure. Well, it's 2 o'clock, and I whipped up the shelter pretty quick, as you can see over my shoulder. Went together really good. I've used this style of shelter before, and so I kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do, but turned out really good. So I have my protection from the snow or rain, whatever may occur, and I use 2 anchor points, one here and then one over there, and then I used 3 anchors for this side, and then I used a couple chunks of dead wood I use for stand-up anchors. That everything's very secure, and my bed will go right in there. I'll have my fire pit there, so what I plan to do next is build a wall on that side, just so I'm protected on 3 sides there. So it's pretty good headroom. Obviously I'll sleep with my head at that end and my feet there, so that I can maximize this sloped roof to give me a bit more headroom. But yeah, it only took me about half an hour, which is great. So I'm slowly getting my my gear organized here, and man, I still got over 4 hours left of sunlight, so which is just perfect. So I'll take you down and show you the creek I'm beside. Gotta remember where this path is. So this is Cataract Creek, and this is about 5 kilometers up from where it meets the Highwood. Just an absolutely gorgeous creek. Turn you around here so you can see. Absolutely gorgeous, crystal clean water. Carved out of the creek has carved itself through the rock there. And the best part is I got this place absolutely to myself. There's nobody up here. See the sun peeking over that ridge. So yeah, I've made really good time on my hike in, and I made really good time on my shelter. So I'm just gonna take my time, get organized, and start putting things together here. I've already got a head start on my firewood too, so I'm doing really good. So I should get some lunch in me though. I keep saying that, but I haven't eaten yet today, so probably make that a priority. Here's my camp. Now, the bad thing is this firewood's soaking wet, so I'll have to dry it out before I use it. But there's a real nice standing dead right there, probably I'd say 12 inches around, and if I cut that down, I'll have firewood for a long time, at least give me some breathing room till this other firewood dries out. So yeah, I'm gonna keep getting organized here and get some lunch in me. So I've done a little bit of prep work here. I've got a dry log that I've split in half, so that'll be my base because I don't want things to get wet in the snow. I had a little bit of a hard time finding some dry tinder, so what I'm going to be using is quite simple. It's a cotton ball, and it's been saturated in Vaseline, so I'm going to use that as my base. The reason it works so well is that the cotton ball will hold the spark from the ferro rod, and the petroleum jelly will ignite the flame, and it'll give you just enough to light. I made a really quick feather stick here. I'll show you how to make them later. This isn't a great one, but it'll work in a pinch. So I'll put the cotton ball in the very bottom. I want to leave that face open so that I can hit it with a spark. And then I've got some dry twigs here, and I've got some larger kindling that I can add on the fire as well. See, this is damp, but we'll make it work. So I'm just gonna position this stuff a little bit. Take advantage of that flame. Got some old man's beard here. And make some lunch. All right, see how she goes. That was dumb. Things don't always go as planned out here, but you make them work as best you can. This is causing me issues here. All right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So there's a fine line between having enough fuel there to smothering it. So a real fine line. So I'm gonna get some lunch on, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. I'm all set up and just still organizing camp. I built a little wall for my shelter. I'll show you guys this side here. It's not perfect, but it'll do tonight, and it'll protect me from the from the wind, if there's any. So I went down to the creek and got a flat rock, and I'm just trying to warm it up. Just trying to get ready for supper here. So if I get that rock nice and warm, I'll hopefully cook my steak on there, because that is on the menu for tonight. And I got some salmon tomorrow, and yeah, some good meals planned. So yeah, pretty much it's 10 to 4, and I'm just hanging out, having fun, just relaxing. I've got a really good start to the day, so I've got lots of leisure time here, right? So yeah, so got everything ready to go. I've got my wall built, fire's going nice. I've had lunch, and I'll start throwing things inside my shelter here in a minute, and flip up my sleeping bag and make sure that's good to go for tonight. So yeah, not much new to report. My rock's warming up nicely, so that'll be my makeshift grill. Just finishing up the last piece of my steak. This was a beef tenderloin, and I seasoned it with blackened Saskatchewan, which is a spice heavy in pepper, and it was just absolutely fantastic. Cooked it on my rock. My rock looked great. At one time I almost lost everything, but managed to save it all, and that's really good. It's just wood smoked. It's just fantastic. It's really liking this meal. I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm gonna take all of my dishes down to the creek and clean everything, and I'm also gonna try and get rid of any evidence of me making this steak. And that includes getting rid of that rock, because that rock is just soaked in blood, and it's just a huge attractant. So yeah, I'm gonna gather my stuff here. This pot I used at lunch, so that's got to go down. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of dishes, but kept it simple on this one. But I'm gonna take everything down to the creek and wash up the best I can. I'm going to take you with me. That's about as cold as I remember it coming here. So I'm gonna get like the food off, and then what I'm gonna do is take some water back with me and boil it with my stuff that I've used, so that it'll kind of disinfect it at the same time. And that should get most of the smell out. And on top of that, I'm not going to sleep with this stuff near me, so it should be relatively safe. And You know, the things I've learned about bears and any other kind of animals for that matter is that they don't want to have an interaction with you, you know? It's the more you can remove the invitation for them to come see you, the better it's going to be. It avoids an interaction with them on their part, and obviously it avoids interaction with you on your part. So it's kind of something I always do is that, and I've never had a negative interaction with a bear or a mountain lion, anything like that, and it's because I don't want one. I've seen them in the wild. They've come close to my camp before, and which is fine. I mean, they're curious, but you remove those barriers to them coming and see you, and it works out pretty good. Now, what I have here is biodegradable little soap papers. So I'm just trying to clean as much as I can while I can here, and they just sort of dissolve, and they're supposed to be safe. So I'm just trying to wash my dishes here. So, and then I'll take a bit of water back with me and get everything cleaned up. We got another 45 minutes till sundown, so doing pretty good on time. Well, I've had a fantastic supper, cleaned up. It is 7:35, and it's been hanging out here by the fire. Been reading a really good book, Alone on the Shield, and yeah, I text my wife and my son and let them know that I'm doing good, and yeah, just having a really peaceful time. I know I'm gonna have a warm night tonight. I got a good sleeping bag and lots of firewood, so I just got the hum of the river or the creek down there, and I just couldn't be more content with everything. I got my food put away, and I got a few snacks that I'm gonna have for tonight, but yeah, just having a really good time. Really enjoying myself. Can't seem to keep my feet warm though. I know they're a little bit wet just from trudging through the snow and whatnot, but overall I'm just very content out here with being alone in the woods. It's where I love to be. It's where my heart is, and I just really enjoy it. So tomorrow I'm gonna get up fairly early, and my plan is to rebuild this wall. So I'm gonna tear down everything that you see here and start from scratch. And I want to make this a little bit higher because my head hits here, and so I can extend this up without losing much of my shelter at all. I wouldn't notice anything, but just sitting in here would be better if it was a little bit higher. I'm gonna get some more firewood and just do a little bit of exploring, but I do want to work quite a bit on the shelter and make sure that'll occupy most of my day tomorrow is just the shelter. So I'm gonna go to bed in a couple hours. I'm just gonna enjoy the fire and yeah, go to bed early and hopefully have a good day tomorrow. Good morning. It's just after 8:30. I got up about half an hour ago. I didn't have the best night that I've ever had in the woods. The wind really picked up last night. It was making a lot of noise and branches were breaking and stuff like that, so I'm always on kind of high alert when I sleep in the woods. So I could not keep my feet warm. Like, it was so frustrating. No matter what I did, I just couldn't keep my feet warm. It seems like my feet were cold all night. Everything else was fine, but yeah, it was frustrating. So I'm gonna try a couple different things tonight. I'm gonna try wrapping my feet in my jacket and putting them in, and I'm gonna try some hot rocks at the end of the sleeping bag so that they start off warm, and you know, hot rocks will last for hours, as long as I don't get them too hot, of course. But yeah, so I got 3 or 4 hours, and I guess that's all you need. I'm gonna get up, start some breakfast, get my food, and put some water on to boil. So I'm sitting here by the fire, warming my feet up, and I was thinking, I hate cold feet. There's no reason for it. It robs you of your sleep, and there's no need for it, especially when the rest of my body's warm. So what I'm going to do today, I made some mistakes last night. First of all, I had an extra pair of socks, which I always sleep with, and I do that every time. But before I changed into those socks, I didn't let my feet dry out, just from the sweat of the day and just being, you know, walking around and everything. I didn't let them dry out. I went right from my day socks, right from my work socks, or from my sleeping socks, and I never let them dry out. I also never warmed my other socks up. So now my body has to work extra hard to warm up my feet and get rid of that moisture. So that's a couple of things I'm going to do tonight, and pre-warm my socks, dry out my feet, make sure that that moisture's gone. And I'm going to do that rock trick that I talked about before, and I'm also going to wrap the bottom end of my sleeping bag in mylar, which is like a foil wrap, and that should hold the heat in. And I think with that and my jacket, I think it's going to be a lot better night. So yeah, I was just thinking about that, and just want to let you guys in. So yeah, but I just can't stand cold feet. It's super annoying. It robs your body of a lot of energy because it's trying to warm up those feet so much, and at a certain point it just gives up and says you're gonna have cold feet for the night. So yeah, I'm gonna try that tonight and hopefully have a lot better sleep. So I'll just show you what I'm doing. I'm boiling some water and warming up my feet at the same time. So yeah, I'll be a little bit here yet. I'm not too much of in a rush this morning. I got all day to spend here, so I'm gonna get a proper start to the day, get some food in me, get my feet warm, and yeah, hopefully start a bit on some construction projects I was thinking of while I wasn't sleeping. So I've got breakfast all cleaned up, and I just got some water just heating up for whatever. It's always good to have warm water at your disposal. So I just want to let you know my plan today. I'm gonna take down this wall, and I've got a couple trees picked out to rebuild it with. So this standing dead right there, I'm gonna take down. It's a nice straight piece. It'll be good for a wall. And there's a guy over there too, back in there. Nice standing dead there. So I'm gonna take that one down. And I've actually cut down a standing dead over here as well that I'm gonna use for firewood. So I still have leftover firewood from the last time I was here, so I went a little nuts there. So I can cut this one down, I can buck this one up, sorry, and use that for firewood, and I should be good for the rest of the trip. And with those two cut down, I can rebuild that wall. Oh, there's the wife calling. So yeah, so I'm gonna get to work tearing down that wall. And I also decided that I'm going to use some spruce boughs for my bed to try and get some loft up, just to try and create a bit more insulation between me and the ground. I think that'll help me out for tonight to have a better sleep. So yeah, I'll do some filming while I'm doing some construction, but yeah, no, it should be pretty good by tonight. I'm sure glad I took this out. I'm not sure how well you can see, but I was sleeping on top of a puddle of water that extended all the way up. So I'm really glad I did this. I've already got that wall torn down. So it just shows you the importance of getting off the ground and some loft. There must have been some snow underneath me that melted just with my body heat and got me almost wet. So like my mattress was on top of that, so I wasn't wet, but easily could have been, and it would have made for a very miserable night. So so that's all the construction that I've done so far. I've got quite a bit of material, so I'm gonna use up what I can, like the straight pieces, and go from there. But yeah, I'm gonna get some spruce boughs and try and elevate my body off the ground, and I think it'll make a big difference. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that. So I'm really happy I did this. I don't consider this a waste of time when it comes to a good night's sleep. So still haven't seen the sun. I'm in this little bit of a valley, and I only will get probably 4 hours of direct sunlight. Like the sun's been up for, I don't know, hour and a half, but I haven't actually seen it yet. So yeah, so kind of look forward to that. It always kind of wakes you up and keeps you going with the sunlight there. So, but yeah, I'm gonna keep at her. I'm just changing out the blade in my saw. I really notice a big difference in performance, and I've had this saw for over a year now, and it's sawed many a timber. So, and if I was smart, I would have done this at home before I came out here. But Agua Canyon makes it easy, doable, I should say, to change out these blades in the field. So it's just these little clips you got to not lose. So I'm trying to be as organized as I can and do this without slicing my finger or losing the clips. So it's kind of funny. You think you have so much time, but it's already 11 o'clock. And I mean, yeah, I've got a plan organized and whatnot, but just things take time, right? Things take time. So, but I'm just putting in this last clip, and here we go. And I got it in the wrong hole. Okay. Let's see how this baby snaps. Oh, I can already tell it's tighter. Did I put... Oh, I cut down the wrong hole. That's why it was super tight. I'm trying not to cut my fingers off, but would have been a lot easier at home in the garage, but it's okay. It's how we learn. And now I know this can be done in the field if you need to, but if you can't, do it at home before you come out on a 3-day trip. Because I do have a first aid kit, but it's one of those things you don't want to use, right? Okay. All right, let's try that. Oh yeah. Listen, listen. Oh yeah. Yeah. Those teeth were so worn down. Okay. Back to work. Well, I've made pretty good progress on the wall. Just want to show you guys. There she is there. Almost got it up to my height. Yeah, starting to come together. So as you can see, I got some gaps in there which I don't want. So I've chinked the bottom two with moss, and I'll do that all the way up. I'll probably fill this one in with a small piece of lumber there. So that's a pretty big hole to chink. But yeah, I know it's coming along. I really want an airtight, well, as much as possible, but a windproof wall. So yeah, it's coming together nicely. So once I'm done this, I'll probably make some lunch, and then I'll start on my bed. But yeah, it's coming along, and the sun's out now, so I'm gonna have to start losing some clothing here. So I'll check in with you later. So I've got my rock all built, the structure of it. So what I'm doing now, like I explained before, is chinking. So there's a wealth of moss just behind me on the back side of my shelter, and I collected handfuls of it. And what I'm doing now is just filling them in with moss, and it should be pretty wind tight. I'm not gonna say airtight. So I just made a little chinking tool, and I'm just forcing it into the cracks, and I'll go on the back side when I'm done and look for daylight and fill in some more. But yeah, it's coming along really good. I'm really happy with it. I've got it braced and tied off, so it's like pinching it like this, so I'm not gonna worry about it falling on my head at night. Which I've had shelters fall apart on me at night, and it's no fun trying to put things together in the dark. So no, it's solid. It's gonna be pretty wind tight, and yeah, I'm super happy. So I'm about half done, and I got enough moss here to finish everything. So and then I'm gonna start working on my bed. Well, I'm just about done here, and I got lots of moss left over in case I need to patch some holes any place. But just working on this top row. Don't really need to do it, but I got the moss here. So, and this tool I made, it's got a sharp end for getting in those tight cracks, and also has a blunt end just for kind of mashing it in there. So works out really good. Not too bad. It looks good. Just need another 3 walls and a roof, and I'll be moving in. So already I can see 1 spot, 2 spot, and then I got that ground there. So another one over there. But I got enough moss to finish that off. So yeah, I'll patch this up, and actually I should probably have I should probably have lunch. Keep forgetting to eat. Having too much fun. But I'll have lunch, and I'll finish this up, have lunch, and then I'll start working on my bed. And I decided I want to be off the ground a little bit, so that I'm not, that ground isn't sucking heat off of me. So that cold, you know, it's just physics that the temperatures would like to equalize. And if I'm warm and the ground's cold, it'll just pull heat from me, so I don't want that to happen. So I want to be off the ground a little bit, and I'll try and go to Lowe's here and see what I can find for a bed. Hey, quick update. I've got all my timber for my bed. So I got the 3 rounds at the bottom just to get me off the ground and level it out. And then I have 8 stakes, 7 or 8 pikes, I guess. That'll act as the frame of my bed. Now in doing that, I have a ton of spruce boughs left over. So what I'm gonna do is line my bed in spruce boughs and then put the mylar foil on the spruce boughs and then my mattress on top. And then, like I said, again, I'm gonna use that extra mylar tin foil around my feet tonight so they stay warm. But I thought I should explain this. A lot of the wood I cut was sopping wet because it was laying in wet snow, so I've been drying it out all day in a nice stack. I mentioned before I'm in a valley, so I lost sunlight about 2 o'clock, went behind that ridge, so which is too bad. And then my sleeping bag, drying out. Just want to have the best night I can, and I have the time to do it. So I'm really working on comforts again for the nighttime, and it's keeping me super busy, and it's providing me with stuff to do. So which I love doing. And it's funny, I text my wife. My wife texts me. She says, "Oh, have a relaxing time," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I got projects to do," but it is relaxing for me, even though I'm working my tail off. It is relaxing just to focus on tasks. And you know, the forest is so simple because all your building materials are here, and whatever you want to do, whatever you want to put your mind to, you can accomplish. You just have to have the know-how. And so yeah, I find it extremely rewarding. There's immediate reward for your work, and so that's what I love about doing this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna get this bed finished up, and then another project I want to do is a fire reflector. So I'm gonna put this fire reflector about here, and the idea is that the fire will reflect back into my shelter, and I plan on sitting there in the evening and reading my book. So with sitting there and the fire reflector there, I should be able to enjoy the heat of the fire a lot better than I did just having it, you know, go everywhere. I want to direct it back to me and back in my shelter. And even though I don't keep a fire going all night, I like to have a good start off to the night. So if I throw a few night logs on there and keep me warm for a couple hours anyway. So yeah, almost done this one, and on to the next one. Okay, got her. So what I have here, I'll talk you through the layers. First of all, I have my big rounds, get me up off the ground. I have to fill this dead space, which is gonna be sucking heat from me. I filled it in with spruce boughs. And then I have my pikes, a layer of spruce boughs, very thick. I have my tarp that I've tucked underneath me, and I'll show you what I've did on the back side. And then I have my mylar foil, sleeping pad, and my mattress and pillow, or my sleeping bag and pillow is going to be on here. So huge improvement from last night. I hope it pays off, but really big improvement. I'm really excited about this. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it's only not even 3 o'clock, so we're in good shape. I'll show you the back side. get you off there. All right. So since I tucked that tarp back underneath, what's left me with a hole there that could potentially, wind could just go right underneath me. So I used the construction materials from the previous wall that I did yesterday, and I used those to block up that. I'm going to use my extra spruce boughs that I didn't use on my bed to kind of block this off and make it somewhat windproof. So super happy. Wall looks great. Wall looks awesome, holding up well. I've chinked more of those sides, so there's not much daylight, you can see through it. And yeah, very happy. So if I'm up to it, I will make my fire reflector, and we'll be in good shape. Well, 3:30 on the nose, and I just finished here. So didn't take me too long. I just found what scrap I could use laying on the floor, so this should really help in kicking the heat back. Yeah, I like it. Looked out good. I just tied the ends off there just to pinch all those logs in place. And on this side too. Yeah, no, I like it. I think I'm done building today. I'm going to think about making supper. I got some those steaks left over, and I got a fillet of salmon, so should be a really good meal. And yeah, like I said, it's only 3:30, so I got lots of time to relax and kind of clean up camp a bit. So I'll check in with you when I'm making supper. Well, for the first time all day, I've had a bit of time to sit down. I'm just getting some coals going to cook my my steak and salmon. Couldn't be happier with today. It went off very, very well. Everything that I wanted to accomplish, I got done. The weather was good. I think it hit about 8 degrees today, so it was nothing to complain about there. Yeah, I'm just really content. I've got my little cove here, so I'm super happy with the way it turned out, and I just wouldn't change a thing about today. So I'm not sure if I'm going to stay tomorrow night or head to a different spot. I don't know. Still trying to deciding. Yeah, I don't know, but I feel like I'm gonna stay because I've done so much work here that I don't want to just walk away from it. So I'd like to get another night out of it. Maybe have a bit more relaxing day tomorrow, and do some exploring around here. I've just been so busy, I haven't left the 50-meter area. Yeah, there's lots to do. If I was to stay another day, honestly, I would build another wall for this shelter, and that's what I'd like to do. But we'll see how things go. But for right now, I'm just happy with the way things went today. So. But yeah, I'm just making some coals for supper, and still got 2 hours and 5 minutes till sundown, so lots of time to relax. And I haven't even read my book yet today at all, so just been super busy. So I'll probably do that this evening, so I'll catch up with you then. Well, I'm just about through this salmon, and it turns out I don't even need a plate. Just eating it right off the rock I'm cooking it on, and it's a fairly thick piece, so I'm just kind of eating around the edges, but it's super good. I put a big slob of butter on there and slowly seeped it in, and then I got lemon juice, so yeah, it's just fantastic. But I'm gonna save these steaks. I'm gonna go bury them in the snow and keep them cold and fresh, and this is enough for me. So I'm kind of planning on staying another night, so I'm kind of rationing food a little bit because I didn't bring enough to stay for 4 days. So I don't know, still deciding, still trying to make up my mind here. So, but yeah, anyways, enjoying supper. It's super good, Still got about an hour and a half of sunlight left, so we're in good shape. And yeah, just picking away at dinner here. Well, I've got dinner all wrapped up here. It's just after 6:30, and this fire reflector is working great. It's kicking the heat right back at me. There is wind, but I don't feel it. It's going right over my head. So I'm super happy with the work I put in today and how it's paying off. I hope I have a good sleep tonight. I'm hopeful I will. And I'm just gonna relax by the fire here and read my book while I still can. And maybe make some popcorn. I brought some popcorn seeds, so I'm gonna make some popcorn. And yeah, I got lots of snacks. I saved some food in case I wanted to stay. Not 100% yet, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to her. Morning. It's actually 9:30, and I slept amazing. I probably got 8 hours of solid sleep, and if you're sleeping in a bushcraft shelter, that is a world record. Like, that's pretty good. It rained a bit last night, and shelter held up well. Yeah, I didn't feel anything, but I know I kind of heard it in the night, so yeah, I slept awesome. My feet were toasty warm. No issue there at all. So very, very happy. I feel a lot better than I did yesterday. I feel more rested. So I'm gonna get a fire going, get some breakfast on, and yeah, I am gonna take off today. So, but I'm in no rush at all. So I'm just gonna take my time packing up and still enjoy the day. So, but I'm gonna get breakfast going. Hey guys, I've broken down camp, and I've had breakfast, cleaned up. So it is, I don't know, watch on me, 11:30, and yeah, I'm in no rush. I'm just hanging out, honestly. I'm just gonna wait about a half hour. I got a rock that's heating up, a nice flat rock I'm gonna use for cooking, and so I'm gonna wait about till noon and then cook up these last couple steaks and have lunch, and then pack up and get out of here. So yeah, I couldn't be happier with what I've done here in my night last night. It was really fun to see that effort go into building all day and then having a great night's sleep. So that's one of the best nights I've had in the bush for a long time. So yeah, no, just I'm gonna take all my paracord with me. I'm not gonna leave anything behind that wasn't here already, and I'll distribute these spruce boughs. I know it's kind of a fire hazard to leave all these dry needles because they eventually will dry out. So I'm gonna get rid of these spruce boughs, and yeah, just kind of break down, and hopefully I'll be back here hopefully this winter, and enjoy the rest here. So yeah, I plan to be out of here in about an hour and a half and be on my way. Broke down camp, distributed my spruce boughs. The fire's out, all my paracord's gone. I'm just gonna pack up my backpack and prepare to get out of here. So I'll shoot some as I leave there. So I'm sure most of the snow is gone with how warm and windy it's been. So I expect an easy trail out. So yeah, very happy with how things went. I'm just ecstatic. Had a great trip. Accomplished what I wanted to, and just had a great time. Well guys, favorite parts here, crossing the river. I'll show you my fancy footwear. I don't know if you see that. There we go. Sorry for the disorientation. I'm gonna try and film this as I go across the river without taking a spill. And here we go. Down this bank first. Okay, I'm gonna film this way. Channel done. Now over to the main river. Okay. Wow. I'm gonna get cleaned up and put my shoes on. I'll get back to you. Well, made it across, as you can see. Got my feet all back together and my gear back on. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. It was a real blast. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later on.